Hey, good morning. We're here, the day two of our art week. Doozie's here. She's getting ready to paint. We've got a new collection of paintings out in the garden today. Hey, Doozie.
Hi, good morning.
So what's on your plan for today?
Well, a lot of my painting is done in my head before I'm painting, so I'm sitting here looking at what I have in the garden now and thinking about what's coming on the new canvas and formulating, what it might look like. It'll change after I start working on it, but I'm really composing it in my mind so far this morning.
Do you have any sort of
playing with color thoughts and just just imagining the painting.
And you were talking about the variation in styles, whether do something like realism or impressionism.
That's one of the things that will evolve. The painting will decide when I start it.
Yeah.
A lot of times the painting paints itself. Once you get started, it's kind of like you become a channel, and you will hopefully empty your mind, or I'll formulate these concepts, but then when I start painting, I let all of that go.
Is there a woman that is inspiring you this week? That's sort of like a muse?
Not specifically. When we talked about all of those women artists in history the last time we were here, the last time I was here, the whole concept of women rising and how important it is for women painters to put themselves out there now that we can. Historically we weren't able to. So I think it's important for all of us artists, women, all of us artists, but women artists specifically, to put their stuff out there in the world. So no, not a specific woman, but just like historically the women have had to fight for and were beaten and killed for gain their right to vote, which is an important whole concept this week, since it's the week before elections. And
it's hard to imagine that women didn't have the ability or even the dream to vote.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I can't remember the date, but it's historically not that long ago.
Yeah, wasn't it like in the late 20s?
I don't know. I don't even want to guess. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Michael's nodding his head yes, but.
And then I noticed you brought a picture of your parents. What's the significance of that?
Well, my parents, I'm making a little altar for Day of the Dead, and they're just very important. They both supported me. They always supported me in my art. I mean, my mom bought my first drawing table, and I still have it, and my first easel, and I still have it. So they're just, besides being my parents and them both being gone for a very long time, they were, my benefactors. So they always supported whatever direction I wanted to go in.
Do you ever, when you paint, you ever sort of imagine Carrie, your sister, in your voice? Do you ever hear things that she's taught you or told you about?
Not necessarily. I mean, she's a great subject matter. I wish I had time. I had the thought of going into my storage and bringing out all the portraits of women that I've done over the years. I have a fantastic one of her next to the swimming pool in Calistoga that would have been great to have here. Maybe next time, I'll go through. I have a painting I did of Annette, and I have several self-portraits that I've done over the years that would have been cool to see the, progression of my self-concept.
Yeah.
That can be for another time. But in general, my sister inspires me because she is so optimistic, and she's so, she gets depressed, of course, but she just barrels on, she just barrels on through shit, and I know she gets depressed, and I know her husband hears the brunt of all of that, but she puts a positive face on for everyone else. But,
do you want to talk a little bit about Calafia behind you?
well, I was hoping that when I did that, Marlena would be here, because Marlena McLean is a art promoter of women's art, and she has a business called Lady Art or something like that. Hopefully she'll come and can talk about it more, but she put on a show called Queen Calafia, and it's all about this Amazonian warrior, dark-skinned warrior woman, that the story was written in like the 1500s by I think a Spanish conqueror. And
is it a true story, or is it a fictional character?
No, well, it's a fictional character. This book that this explorer had read this book about this Amazonian, larger-than-life, dark-skinned warrior that had, all her women, all her warriors were women, and supposedly, I wish I had read up on this stuff. I don't know if it was Cortez or somebody, whoever came upon the Spanish person that had this book with him when he was reading it, came upon Baja California and thought that he had found this mythological island that these women lived on, and so that's supposedly where the name California came from.
Yeah. Calafia.
Calafia.
And then, so what's the significance of?
Well, all of the things in here are. So it was the name of California was from this woman. So she supposedly had these griffins as protectors. You know, in this mythological story, they would have been real creatures.
Is that San Francisco Bay?
But so I just put the Golden Gate Bridge. I put things that reminded me of California in here. So it's kind of a mixture of the Queen, the monarch butterfly being California, Golden Gate Bridge because I lived up there and I love that area. I mean, she reminds. This is a friend of mine who lives in the Bay Area. I mean, I did this image from Binta. And she also wrote a poem to go with this. I might read it later.
That'd be nice.
I just put the Hotel California down here. I don't know what the Hotel California looks like, and it's in Mexico someplace, the original one. But the California poppies and lupins, and just things that palm trees and the what are those?
Deodara cedars.
Cypress or something. I don't remember what they're called. But it was
I think
just
the Deodara cedar.
it was just this is what came to me when she told me the story, and she invited me to participate in the show. I did this and the other one that you guys have.
Okay, well, we are looking forward to seeing what happens today, and we'll check back in and wish y'all were here. Anyone is welcome to come and join us. Just come by.